Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, friends of the Hili Forum, thank you very, very much for being here for the second time in Abu Dhabi to this quite distinguished gathering that we've managed to put together with our excellent partners in the Emirates Center for Strategic Studies. Last year, when we convened for the first time, the theme was emerging global disorder. We recognized that the post-Cold War order was fragmenting, that the assumptions that had guided global politics, economics, and technology for a very long period of time were eroding. We asked ourselves a year ago, how do we redefine, reshape, and rebuild amongst such profound uncertainty? 1 year later, the world, unfortunately, has not grown calmer. If anything, it has grown sharper in its divisions, more fragile in its connections. The disorder of which we spoke last year is no longer emerging, it is here. From the continuing war in Ukraine to the devastation in Gaza, from the great power confrontations to the instability of parts of Africa, from the surge of economic protectionism to the widening gulf between high-tech haves and have-nots, the picture is stark indeed. But history, however, reminds us that periods of fracture often serve as catalysts for new forms of cooperation. Even in times of disorder, there lies the potential for innovative collaboration. Those understandings actually shape the themes for this year's forum: global reset, trade, tech, and governance. Today, we're confronted by the reality that the world's OS, its operating system, the frameworks that guide trade, that structure power, that enable global cooperation, no longer meet the demands of our age. They cannot keep up with the pace of technological transformation, the intensity of geopolitical competition, or the scale of the shared challenges that our planet faces. We see a reality where great powers jostle, middle powers assert, and non-state actors disrupt. Globalization has fractured, supply chains are being weaponized, and critical minerals securitized. Trade, sadly, no longer flows in neutral waters. It is channeled through the lenses of rivalry and resilience. All this against a backdrop of breathtaking technological acceleration that is reshaping power, wealth, and our identity faster than governments or societies can adjust. If this is the state of the world today, then the obvious question before us, how do we prevent a reset from becoming a rupture? For the United Arab Emirates, this question is not abstract. The UAE, though modest in size, stands as a nexus where continents, cultures, and global pathways converge. This unique position is not solely a matter of geography. It is a product of deliberate vision and intentional choice. And today, in an age marked by division, the UAE has deliberately chosen the path of connectivity. While walls rise around the globe, this country stands firm in its belief in building bridges, because the security, prosperity, and future of the UAE, and indeed of the whole region as a whole, are intricately linked to the wider world. This is why we at the Anwar Gargash Diplomatic Academy and our excellent friends and partners at the Emirates Center for Strategic Studies and Research came together to initiate this forum. We named it, as Dr. Sultan spoke earlier, after Hili in Al Ain, a place which has for thousands of years been the crossroads of civilization, where traders, builders, and innovators gathered not to dwell on their fears, but to look at the possibilities of the world. This gathering aims to revive that spirit of Hili. We want to convene a dialogue, create a space where different views can come together. We don't want just to catalogue crises. We want to imagine ideas and resets. We don't want to despair over disorder, but to test ideas for new arrangements. This year's program will take us deep into the questions that matter most. How do we navigate great power rivalry without sleepwalking into confrontation? Can we design geoeconomic frameworks that are resilient, yet open, competitive, and inclusive? How do we govern technologies whose place exceeds politics and whose risks may outstrip even our imagination. The danger we face today, ladies and gentlemen, is not simply conflict. It is the danger of paralysis. It is the danger of the temptation to cling to old frameworks in the hope that they will hold. But reset requires courage. It requires us to ask uncomfortable questions and to propose audacious answers. Welcome to the second edition of the Hili Forum. Thank you.